Boom.
Welcome to the Week 6 Waivers and Streams show. It's your boy Rick Rose, and hey, I'm streaming right now in the Boom Fantasy app Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays. You can catch me in-app talking fantasy, ask all your questions, and you can enter to win the Boom Box. You don't know what that is? Well, you need to be watching streams on Boom Fantasy. We're going to get to waiver ads and streamers in a second, but first, I really need to talk to you about the Cleveland Browns, okay? It's all right. They're fine. They're actually really good this year, and that's why we need to talk about it. Baker Mayfield has turned the offense around, and the defense is strong. But more importantly, the Browns have dream matchups over the next 5 weeks. They are playing the Chargers, the Bucks, the Steelers, the Chiefs, and the Falcons over the next 5 weeks straight. Those are 5 of the most vulnerable defenses in all of football. So you don't have any piece of the Browns. You want to make a little trade, maybe get yourself a Hyde, get yourself an Njoku, put yourself in a position to get some of this Browns action over the course of October, because it's going to be there. The first name I want to talk about this week is Ronald Jones. I know, this doesn't make a lot of sense, mostly because I spent most of the preseason bashing Jones in favor of Peyton Barber. But look at it this way. If you wasted draft capital on Ronald Jones, you had him sitting around doing nothing, eating space on your roster for 5 weeks, and if you didn't draft him, now you can pick up Ronald Jones for absolutely nothing. So shut up. I was right. Add Ronald Jones this week and see what happens. He might be good, he might not, but he is going to be the Tampa running back in a great matchup against the Falcons. Jay Ajayi's out for the year, and that sucks because I really liked him, and it's going to open the door for a new Eagles running back. People are saying they might trade because they've only got Wendell Smallwood and Corey Clement hitting the rock, but hey, what about Josh Adams, right? Undrafted rookie from Notre Dame. He had 6 carries for 30 yards in the opener and has had 1 carry since. So what I know is that he averaged 5 yards a carry in the opener, so let's get back on that, right? His ceiling is unknown. His basement is actually 0, but it's worth a shot on a good offense that likes to control the ball and run frequently, but doesn't have a clearly defined rushing back. The third running back I want to talk about this week is Jamal Charles, and I'm going all upside this week. Listen, Leonard Fournette is out days early with a hamstring injury. Corey Grant is on IR. It is TJ Yeldon, and now it's Jamal Charles. Someone asked earlier in the stream, Rick, does this mean you're high on Charles? It's more I'm high on this opportunity as a ball carrier in this Jaguars offense. If the Jaguars had said they signed Orleans Darkwa, I would have told you to go grab Darkwa. But they grabbed Charles, so it's just Yeldon and Charles as the only running backs. I see this as a really good opportunity for a back who used to be really, really good. At receiver, I am suggesting the Packers receiver du jour. Whoever is healthy between Geronimo Allison and Vontez and Marquez and the other guy. Seriously though, Valdez-Scantling showed some really nice things against the Lions, even though the Packers were forced to throw the ball 100 times. But if he is the slot receiver moving forward, Aaron Rodgers is going to have him produce regardless. But if Allison is healthy, Rodgers likes Allison, he's a nice deep threat, and he goes right back in your lineup and right onto your roster. I also want to talk to you about the Jets' Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Kearse situation. Now, if Robbie Anderson is on waivers, run, don't walk, run to go pick him up. He only had 3 targets last week, but 2 of them were long touchdowns, and it's less about that target production and more about the trust developing between Darnold and Anderson. If Darnold is willing to take deep shots on his big play receiver, that can only be fruitful for future games. That means whenever Robbie has a good matchup, he goes right in knowing there's a chance he could score 1 long touchdown and break it open. Kind of like Tyreek Hill before Mahomes, where he was going to produce, you just really sweated it every single week. Kearse is the more interesting option. He's more likely to be on free agents, and it's also relative to Quincy Enunwa, who moved outside this week against Denver. So now it's Anderson and Enunwa on the outside and Jermaine Kearse in the slot. The slot is where Enunwa had all those targets early in the season, so if that's where Darnold likes to go, Kearse now becomes your guy. The next guy is Josh Reynolds, who gets a boost with Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp being out with concussions. Now, the good news for us is you only need one, Cooks or Kupp, to be out on Sunday for Reynolds to produce, because the Rams run 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers, on over 90% of snaps. So if that's their volume, Reynolds is going to get on the field. If so facto in this Rams offense, he's going to produce. So wait on the status of Kupp and Cooks and concussion protocol. That's a lot of consonants. And keep an eye on Josh Reynolds. Nobody likes to be wrong, but I was wrong on Tyler Kroft last week. I thought he would emerge as the Bengals tight end. He ended up with 1 target, 0 catches for 0 yards. Great. job me. The new guy is CJ Uzomah. He only had 2 catches for 43 yards, but he's got a really nice matchup against the Steelers and is going to be the pass-catching tight end moving forward. We like the ceiling of this new Bengals offense, and Uzomah is worth an add because the tight end position has been really tough to figure out so far. When it comes to streaming quarterbacks, I'm going to go with Jameis Winston this week. He's had a full bye week to integrate with the Tampa starters, and he gets a great matchup at Atlanta. Listen, I'm not always the biggest Jameis guy, and his debut against the Bears in garbage time was not very impressive. But we know that Todd Monken and the Buccaneers scheme is new and improved from seasons past. They like to be aggressive. They like to throw down fields. And any which way you cut it, Jameis Winston is a better quarterback than Ryan Fitzpatrick, whether you like the optics or not. So Winston gets picked up, and Winston can go right in your starting lineup this week. Finally, we are streaming the Green Bay Packers defense against the 49ers. Listen, I took the Cardinals last week, and it was a good pick, despite the Cardinals defense being out for over 80 plays and giving up over 400 yards of total offense. What happened? Sacks, picks, and turnovers, my guy. They made plays, and that's what I expect the Packers defense to do. The combination of San Francisco's deteriorating offensive line and backup quarterbacks' propensities to hold onto the ball too long works out great for aggressive defensive lines, and if the Packers can get ahead, force the Niners into negative scenarios, this works out really well to stream the Packers defense. That's it for me. Check us out on Thursday for our Thursday Night Football strategy video. Remember, live 10 to 1 Sunday only in the Boom Fantasy app. We'll see you later.